Hello, everyone, and welcome. We've got the last two semifinals matches of the season. This is Division 2, University of North Carolina taking on National University of Singapore. They're starting a little late because one of the Singapore players is unfortunately missing. So they're not showing up just yet, but maybe they'll join later. But for now, Singapore is going to be playing down a player. So it's 3 versus 4 right now. They just started the first round, so let's dive right in and check out these games. All right, so it looks like we've got Green Dinosaur. I believe that's Rohan taking on Wizard. That's William. Also, let me clean up some of these names, actually. So that you can see them all. They have some long names over there in Singapore. I'm learning. Okay, you still can't see Savin's full name. That's crazy. All right. That's better. Yeah, and then after this match, we have UTRGV versus SLU, which is going to be huge. That's a lot of money on the line and a chance for the first place spot, where they'll be competing against Mizzou, who won yesterday against UT Dallas. Very close 1-point match, 8.5 to 7.5. So should be exciting. Both UTRGV and SLU are such strong teams. Really looking forward to that. That's going to start in about an hour. But for now, we got to watch D2 first. And still a lot on the line for Division 2. If you want to see what the prizes are exactly, you can go to ! prizes. And let me take a gander at that myself. So Division 2, this match right now is worth $1,250. Both teams have won already, guaranteed $500 for fourth place. But if they win today, that bumps up to $1,250, as well as a chance for $2,500 for first place in Division 2. So this match alone is worth $750 if they can clinch it. If not, they're still going to be competing next weekend for $750. And just to take a look at the bracket, let's see who they're going to be competing against over there in Division 2 finals. So the winner will move on to play against, as soon as this loads, oh yeah, UTRGV. Yep. And the loser of this match will play against UT Dallas. So good luck to whoever moves on, because that UTRGV team is very deadly. And they destroyed the Dallas team by a score of 10.5 to 5.5. And that Dallas team is no joke either. So gonna be tough for whoever faces off against them, but they still have a chance, so we'll see. Okay. So yeah, I see 3 games. This is John. I think he's the highest rated player in the whole match. He is 2,400. I flew back home. Hi, welcome. No, I've been here the whole time. Luckily, this match started a little late, so we didn't miss any action. Yeah, I don't know what language you're speaking now, but good to see you. Shout out to Cal State Fresno. Okay, so yeah, this should be the board 1. It is. This is also their captain, their ambassador, John, repping Singapore. And then board 2, they have William, who's 2,300. So yeah, Singapore's got this deadly 1-2 punch. This is their top 2 boards. But North Carolina has a very strong player as well. 2,414 rated is Up in Lights. That's Thomas Kung taking on Andrew. So it looks like their board 3 is missing. So that's going to be a point for Naveen on board 2 for North Carolina. Um, and yeah, every 15 minutes they're late, that's another round that they're going to be forfeiting a point for. So I believe Singapore has tried to reach out to them to contact them. You'll stream Tuesdays. Nice. Sounds fun. Yeah. I think you guys playing outside is really helpful because we got a couple people to join the club, and if you just like leave the merch out, people can take that as they go. I don't know if the room that you have reserved for your typical meetings is very visible, so not sure. I haven't seen it, unfortunately. Maybe I'll have to visit another time and see how good your exposure is there. But all right, it looks like this isn't looking great for yeah, that's just about gonna do it. Uh Back and now check. You're forced to block with the bishop. You would love to just get rid of this pawn, you know? Okay, so here, probably knight here is my guess. That should just close things out. Yep, knight g4, and this is forced mate in 3, starting with queen h8 check, or queen g7. A more human move is queen e2, but that's also pretty bad if you have to play that move. So we might just see resigns at this point from Andrew. So then that should be at least 2 points for North Carolina, but the top 2 boards from Singapore are looking to tie things up. So let's check in with William. And if Rohan can keep things close. This is board 3 from North Carolina versus board 2. William is getting low on time, I will say. He has to figure out where to put that queen. Okay, queen h3 played. And now computer likes bishop e2. Maybe trying to go here and try to cut off this queen. We'll see. 2 minutes for Rohan. And how is John doing? He's playing up against Neo. And it looks like computer actually likes Neo's position after the move queen g3, which is kind of interesting. Not sure exactly what queen g3 does, but okay, instead went for g4. Now computer likes h5. It also likes queen d8. Sometimes you got to watch out for these sacrifices because the queen can come here with check and you can see another sacrifice. That actually might be some sort of forced perpetual. Maybe. Probably not because the king has g7. So we do see h5. And now the queen's got to move again. Computer likes g3 again. All right, take care, Anushka. Always good to see you. I'll see you later. Okay, so Thomas did beat Andrew, so that's a 2-point lead for Carolina, but Singapore's looking to tie things back up. North Carolina is going to see if they can hold on to this lead. So right now, apparently knight h3 is really strong. Very low time. So instead, knight f3. And now black maybe can get away with taking on b2. I wonder. King steps up, trying to take away h6. Computer likes knights at a3. Oh, for black? Okay, knight a3. Okay, now it likes bishop d2, trying to come here. Bishop here to box out the knight, but then we see the bishop trying to trade. Very low time for Neo. Less than 5 seconds. He brings the queen back. Trade the bishop, and now the knight can come hit the bishop. Probably bishop tuck back. And William is really low on time. This king is being very brave, very bold. But it loves William's position. So what's wrong? What's wrong with Rohan here? Rooks are connected now. This pawn's practically defended with, I guess, a mate threat if you take it. True. Both under a minute. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Neo versus John because this is a closer match for sure. Rook up. So low on time. Okay, he's threatening h6. Should play rook h8 is what the computer says. Naturally, of course. Less than 30 seconds now for John. Okay, rook h8's been played. Less than 5 seconds for Neo. He trades one pair of rooks. Is he going to bring the other rook over? Yes. Hitting the queen. Queen steps back. Computer likes a4. Was not played. a5 from black. Rook back to e1. Kind of passive. Now black's trying to trade off the dark square bishop. So trading down. This weakens this dark square f6. The queen's gonna look to come in. So we see this queen already coming back, and now knight here, pressure here. Queen wants to come here. Computer hated that move. That's a free pawn on a5, by the way. Pawn on a5 was missed. Pawn here, pressure. Rook offering a trade. Trade down. Queen here, forking these two. Queen takes. Was that missed? I don't know, guys. Uh-oh, this pawn is hanging. That pawn is hanging. Queen comes back. They might just draw this out at this point. Ooh, pawn push. Pressure in the center. Wasn't taken. Takes now. Black has a connected passed pawn here. Folks, knight here threatening a huge fork. Okay, queen defends, knight back. We might see a little shuffle. Black might want to play for the win. Now they draw. All right, draw by repetition. That's a really good result, though, for Neo. For sure. Fourth board versus top board. I mean, highest rated player in the whole match. And with that, North Carolina is guaranteed a lead in this round. Ooh, we might see knight and bishop mate. Start counting your 50 move rule, although there is a pawn. So with the pawn, it's a lot easier. You just want to promote that thing. You can give up both your minor pieces. Well, in a certain way. Hold on. Watch out for stalemate. Gotta allow king d2. All right. King f2. Still gotta watch out for stalemate, although the king gets checked. Okay, queen here, king here. And knight mate. Very nice. So William gets a point for Singapore at least. So 2.5 to 1.5 after the first round. And I don't know if Singapore's still missing a player, but that's going to be huge. It's going to be very difficult for them to join up again. Round 2 should be starting. Yeah, unfortunate this match started about 15 minutes late because I do want to watch the SLU versus UTRGV match. So we're gonna have to take an early break probably to set up for that. Okay, so looks like they're starting round 2. Hey, White Noise, 12 months, dude, huge. Thank you so much. It's been a while. I need to get back to the old Joe Bruin account. Maybe after this season. I mean, maybe tonight. Who knows? I don't know. I've moved again, so Oh man, I am hungry. I'm gonna eat a lot of food after this match. Not this match, after this stream. So we'll see how I'm feeling after that. But yeah. Um okay, anyways. Moved back. I'm back home with the familia. That allowed me to visit Fresno State Chess Club earlier today. Uh but yeah, more on that later, perhaps. Okay, we've got Neo versus William. So Neo was able to hold a draw against John. Can he do the same against William? That would be a tough task, but possible for sure. I only see 2 games. I don't know where the third one is. I feel like there should always be 3 games, right? Well, which is the one that I'm missing is the question. So John's playing Rohan, and yeah, so I guess we're missing Andrew versus Naveen. Ah, there it is. So this is Naveen's first game. We haven't seen him play. But he's the titled player of the match. He's a national master. Going up against Andrew. So tough pairings for Andrew in the first 2 rounds because he is the 4th board. So he has to take on the strongest 2 players from North Carolina. But who knows? Maybe he can stir something up here. Although it does like white immediately here. So yeah, black pretty behind in development on the king side there. Very early on in the game though. So knight develops pressure on the pawn, defending the rook with the queen. Yeah, and we'll give what, Thomas gets a win on this one. So with the missing player, that's 4 guaranteed points, unless they show up in the second half. But right now, it's a 2-point handicap. Although, to be fair to North Carolina, Suveen is a bottom 2 player from Singapore. So it's possible that North Carolina's top 2 boards would have beaten them anyways. But still very, very important to be able to try to fight for those points. And it does tire out, the top 2 boards, whereas with a forfeit win, it's just a free buy. It's a full point buy for them. So they get to rest, they get to watch, they get to spectate the games, try to figure out if they can learn anything from the opponents. Okay, here it hated this move, really hated it. And I think it's because it blunders the c pawn. So if you look at rook takes, queen takes, knight here, getting out of the attack, but also threatening a major fork. And as soon as black responds to defend against that, there's an opportunity to take on c4 twice, which will defend the knight. Okay, we see knight to b5 immediately. And is this as good? We're no longer threatening this. We do have the a file. Perhaps after queen here, there was a way to defend the c pawn and put pressure on the knight. But black takes on c2. Okay, let's see. Bishop takes on c4, I'm expecting here. No, computer really likes d5. Okay, it does like bishop c4 still. It also likes rook c1. So, interesting ideas. Let's check on the other games. Let's see. Okay, bishop c4 was played. How's Naveen doing? Oh, this is Naveen. That's funny. Knight here. It's just very behind in development, unfortunately. I feel like queen here has got to be pretty good, right? Just threaten knight check. How do you even stop that? Really? Maybe queen here. Yeah, computer loves d5. Here it's saying bishop to g5. Ooh, just hitting the queen. Very interesting. All right, queen a7 I definitely liked, but queen b8 seemed annoying. How to deal with queen b8? Computer says rook a1 there. Queen b8's the top move, but bishop e7 is the second top move with knight here, king over. So no castling for white. Knight c7 check has to be the top move. King over. And only bishop takes, a nice tactic. If pawn takes, knight takes with the fork. However, apparently queen b8 alleviates some of the pressure. And this pawn might be annoying, right? If it gets to b2, it's hard to stop that. Okay, I did say to look at the other games. Hey, Guac Prodigy, how are you? Hello, and how do you do? Okay, queen is hit. Computer likes white a lot. Yeah, this pawn structure and king is just not very safe over here, to be fair. Are we blundering this pawn? No, it's defended by a knight fork. Okay, this is apparently hanging too. Whoops. That defends this. What was the issue in this position? Interestingly, queen takes was the best. Actually, this pawn or this knight is not defendable. So, yeah, just a free piece there. Okay. Knight back, defended this way. Pawn push. Computer likes knight g5. Also likes rook here. These are two connected pass pawns, but two minor pieces is pretty good. Pretty good. Two minor pieces for 3 pawns. So definite advantage. Again, there's knight check. That trades queens. Probably not trading queens is also fine. Trading queens and you kind of help the black pawn structure. Rook takes a6 and queen takes f8. Take and take, huh? In this position, rook takes, queen takes. You do lose the knight. So, it might not be worth it to win the pawn. Yeah, queen here, defend or attacking, rook here defending. Rook here though, maybe just looking to pick up some of these weak pawns. Okay, Naveen beat Andrew. So top 2 boards for North Carolina are perfect in the first half. That's giving them a 3-point lead over Singapore. And there are 2 games left. So the top 2 boards from Singapore looking to try to bring it back within 1 if possible. We did see Neo get a draw. And how's Neo doing against William? So William did get the only point for Singapore in the first round. But they're low on time here against Neo. So Neo's a strong player, probably underrated. Okay, so both sides castle, king side. Bishop pair for black, and this pawn is being hit. Knight here threatens checkmate. Rook here defending. And now how does white defend against this? I don't see it. Bishop here is also annoying. Okay, rook here defends. It also... it just defends. All right. Good points. Now probably rook c8 to try to go here. Maybe they can double. Yeah, rook c8's played. Less than 10 seconds for William. He brings the queen back. This frees up this pawn. I would go here. But again, white can just double. So rook here though, maybe then if rook here we have bishop takes. Maybe. If yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting point. We might see a sacrifice on the h-file. Who knows? It'd be dangerous. So we might not want to open this up. But yes, very low time for both players. Oh, we did have a result. So John beat Rohan. So John getting on the board after the first round draw. So Singapore is only down by 2 with 1 game remaining. If William wins, it brings it back within 1. Okay, so queen steps aside and now g4 hits with tempo. Maybe they're going to continue this path. Black went for b4, which feels a little slow to me. Okay, queen in now. f7's weak after the rook went to the g file to try to defend g7. So how to defend this guy? Queen steps over. Computer doesn't like that. And once g5 not played, and now black at once bishop g6, attack the knight, and try to halt these pawns from opening things up. Black trying to be annoying on the C and A files. Very low time now for William. There goes a pawn, and a big pawn, the H pawn. Bishop here to trade this down, but not trading yet. Connecting the rooks. Trade here. King steps up. Not clear how to break through. Rook gets to the back rank. Queens gets hit. Now the bishop is hit. Taking here is going to really weaken this pawn. This might not be ideal, actually. This could be a mistake. I wonder if bishop takes, followed by like rook and queen coming in or anything. But maybe not. Didn't even take this pawn. Oh, I guess the rook was hanging. Okay. Makes sense. This pins the knight. Bishop takes was a threat, but now the rook defends this. 5 seconds. Blunder the pawn. Going after this. Hold up. It's a trade. This might favor black. That comes with check. Now the bishop can step back. Hit the rook. Rook goes to the D file. I would go here. Or maybe the back rank. Pressure on the E pawn that's pinned. Now rook here. Queen over. Interesting. Threatening this with the rook. Rook blocks the diagonal and unveils an attack on the rook. White could just take that. What is this? Queen takes his mate. No, rook block? Oh my god. Oh my god, and that's a pin. Holy smokes. William just missed rook h7. Is that not a free rook on c1? Here, and I mean, queen takes c1. There's queen h4 and you get the knight back, but holy smokes, that was such a huge thing. This was a mistake because they missed rook block. Still, queen takes c1 is good. Queen takes c1 was good. I thought that that's why William played knight takes g7, because there was this queen fork. So knight takes pawn and then take here made sense. But no, it was not to be. Rook h7, that gets a huge win for Neo. So Neo goes 1.5 out of 2 against the top Singapore players. And with that, round 3 is underway. Looks like Suveen has joined, and they're playing the round 2 game. which I guess is being played now. Suveen in Singapore's time of need has joined the battle. He's playing Thomas. So it looks like we will take the point away from Thomas and see them play it out. Thomas is going to have to earn it, apparently. All right, knight c8, guarding against a7. So opposite side castles. Definitely white is for choice. Open pair of bishops. Definitely closer in the attack. Probably queen b4. Just get that a pawn rolling. Queen goes all the way back. So not as aggressive as I would prefer. And now black is trying to stir up some trouble against white's king. But there goes the a pawn. And now a5 is looking good. There it is. And now b6. How do we want to do this? How do we open this up? Computer likes c4. I'm assuming a6 is bad because b6 is the follow-up. Closing everything. Hey, Abby boy, how are you? We have Green Dinosaur playing against Andrew. So this is round 3. Yeah, in 13 minutes, we're going to definitely take a gander over at SLU versus UTRGV. So we're going to miss the end of this one, unfortunately. So yeah, this is a round 3 game. This, though, is round 2. So really behind. But it's nice of Savine to wake up, I guess. Okay. White could take en passant here. But computer likes c5. And I don't blame them. c5 right there. And I guess we're threatening c6, which looks pretty gnarly. In fact, that's the top computer line is 97 c6. f4, bishop takes f4, so free pawn. Rook over. Rook over. Okay, computer liked bishop d2 here. Or bishop e3. Rook here instead is interesting. Leaving the bishop there. Honestly, I do think bishop on e3 is better placed. And I know what you're thinking. Bishop on e3, doesn't that blunder the e-pawn? No, because c6 hits with tempo. And if black saves that bishop, then we have bishop takes with check. And rook takes queen. So bishop steps back. c6 is probably still good, to be honest. Because if they try to pass the pawn, then we still open up the a file. So c6 hits. And Thomas should be doing just fine here to close this one out. Yeah, next game is about to start in 10 minutes. So Okay. So C6 is still there. Can I send the chess.com link? For what? The link for what? What link? What link are you looking for? All right, you're not specifying. I would love to help you, but I don't know what chess.com link you're asking for. For Naveen's match, you're a big fan. You want to watch Naveen's game? Naveen's finished. Although, okay, Naveen's waiting for his next round. He's waiting for round 3. So Naveen will play John. No. Yeah? Yeah, Naveen will play John next. If you want the link to follow Naveen, let me see if I can put it in chat for you. Yeah, you just have to follow Naveen's account. So probably that. If you go to Naveen's page on chess.com, it should be something like chess.com/member/ maybe something like that. Maybe. I don't know. So that link will work when he starts playing. So you might not see anything. Yeah. All right, so Thomas wins. And that puts them at 5.5 to 2.5. But Suveen is here. So Singapore needs a comeback, but they can do it. Andrews versus Rohan. This is round 3. So Suveen should be playing Neo. William should be playing Thomas. And Naveen will be playing John. And there are 8 games left. So North Carolina only needs 3 points to win out of the next 8 games. And yeah, so Naveen's game has just started. He's playing against the top board. So this is a big match. Both players are 2,400. So yeah, because Suveen played round 2, he really only missed 1 game against Thomas. Which, if he lost against... Actually, no, Suveen played Thomas. Suveen's only game he missed was against Naveen. So if, Naveen was going to beat him anyways, then there's really no difference in the match score. But yeah, I think in like 5 minutes, we're going to take a break and watch the D1 match between UTRGV and SLU, which is coming up. So apologies that we won't be finishing the rest of this match, but I will keep an eye on their score and give you guys updates at the end. And like we've seen. You can follow the games directly on chess.com as well. Okay, Rohan is very low on time, 15 seconds, but is winning. Kind of an exposed king, but there's this pawn on f7, which is kind of interesting. Okay, yeah. It's calling to trade here and then to take the pawn. So black isn't doing that. It liked rook 81, which was not played. Again, Rohan's very low on time. Pawn push. Okay, offering this trade. Kind of interesting. H4 is really annoying. Probably then king g4. And computer saying knight d3. Wow, h4 played. Ooh, don't like this. Oh, what? I was gonna say the point is that oh, computer saying knight d3. Knight d3 just wins on the spot. Oh my god. Is Andrew gonna find it? Could you imagine? Knight d3 with the unstoppable threat of knight f2. It's a fork. Knight f2 is just devastating. Yeah, the king should not be on h3. King, or the queen should have blocked, or the king should have stepped away. Obviously, you can't go here because you get forked. But yeah. Yeah. Andrew finds it. Queen here, but you're getting forked, and Rohan didn't really have much else to do there. So, really unfortunate. Maybe knight here. Try to fork these things back. Maybe knight here still. No. Okay. Well, it's unfortunate. Check. You're losing the. I mean, it's just over. It's over. You're down a queen. You're down a queen for nothing. Here, you've got a couple checks to give. That doesn't stop it. Dang. Okay. Andrew, fourth board, big point. Rohan messed that up, unfortunately. Didn't want to play king g4 and go deeper down the rabbit hole, and instead got his queen forked. So yeah, I mean, Singapore, they're only down by 2. And there are 2 rounds remaining. So they just need to win, each round 2.5 to 1.5, and they tie it. But perhaps that is a tough task. Naveen is up a lot of time against John, and John's king is on e2 for some reason. Well, yeah, I guess John's also up 2 pawns. So that's nice. Okay. This will be the last games that I'm looking at here. Because we're gonna take a break and tune into the D1 matchup between UTRGV and SLU, which should be starting in about a minute. And yeah, just one final glimpse at the rest of these games. This position's relatively even. Yeah, no idea. Neo's down a minute though. So William up against Thomas. Thomas is perfect so far, and so is Naveen. So we'll see if the top boards for Singapore can take down the top boards from North Carolina. And yeah, John versus Naveen, and Naveen's winning. Up on time, up on position. Yeah, just very awkward placement here. All right. With that, we're going to take a break and we're going to tune into the D1 match between UTRGV and SLU. So, sorry if you're a North Carolina or Singapore fan, but we're going to switch matches. Hey, Talia. Yeah, I see. All right. We'll be right back. We'll be right back with the SLU match. All right. See you soon. Hello and welcome back. We've got the very thrilling, exciting, huge matchup in Division One semifinals between heavyweights St. Louis University and University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. They've just started round one, so let's dive right into these games. All right, here we've got Robbie Kavlashvili taking on Funo, who is Victor Gajic. This is board 3 for SLU. 2877. Board 2 for Texas. 2882. That's a very close matchup in terms of rating. Only 5 rating points differentiating them. Yeah, I think SLU is definitely the favorite on the top 3 boards, but UTRGV might have a more well-rounded team. since they have either, well, okay, hold on. Let me see. Slew has the lowest rated player. That's actually not true. Baratza is the lowest rated player. So maybe Slew is just a heavyweight favorite. Although apparently Woodland Magic is, they're not using their titled account, but they're definitely titled 2,700. But this is Benjamin Bach at 2,961. And would you believe me if I told you he's not even their board one? 2,900, not enough. We've got Nico Theodorou, who is the board one, 3,089. And yes, Stavrula, of course, the fourth player from Slew, very lucky, as her last name suggests. She's also just absolutely crushing it against Camille. So this might just be a blowout, actually. I was trying to say, like, hey, it's a close match. Both these teams are pretty close. But if the board 4 is going to beat the board 1, then UTRGV's got to change something up quick. Otherwise, they've got a world of hurt coming their way. And as a reminder for you all, this is the semifinals match. So the winner of this will move on to take on Mizzou, who just won their semifinals match yesterday. So that first place prize for Division 1, besides, of course, the championship title, is a nice $5,000 cash. So Mizzou's already guaranteed $2,500 for second place, but obviously they're looking to win the whole thing. Mizzou versus Slew is actually a rematch of the first season's finals. So that season, our inaugural season back in 2020, Slew ended up taking everything, beating Mizzou. Mizzou went on to win in the second season, but neither team has made it back to the finals. So Mizzou is back in the finals for the first time since season 2. And Slew is looking to make it back for the first time since season 1. UTRGV, however, they just won the whole thing last year. So they are the defending champions, and they're looking to make it back to defend their title. Can Slew end their journey early and try to take a chance at the finals themselves? Yeah, championship title, Brody. That's something that you would know a lot about, right? Yeah, no, this is so exciting. I love this time of the season. Literally, this is the second to last match or round for both these teams. There's only 1 weekend left. It's all coming down to this. Too many letters in UTRGV. Yeah, Slew only 3 letters. Okay, look at this. We've got a peace sacrifice for the fork. Stavrula just taking it to Camille right now. She's taken down names, and by names I mean Camille Dragoon, which is a really cool name. It's like dragon. But Stavrula might slay this dragon in round 1 as a board 4, which would be huge. Let's check on quickly the other games. Theodorou is still over 4 minutes, and Baratza is under a minute. So, yeah, kind of tough. Both sides still have a bishop pair. Computer did not like this move, by the way, but Black's trying to skewer this. Computer likes the move bishop c2, which... Okay, I'm so confused. Okay, no, here, g4 is the move. Okay, g4, bishop c2. Okay, did not like that move. Why? Rook a, e8. I don't know what's going on. I'll be honest. Your confidence will always be through the roof. What a cool name. Yes. I think Texas just has some pretty cool names. I mean, Nico Theodorou is a cool name. Benjamin, I mean, all their names are cooler than mine. Viktor Gajic, Irakli Baratza. Stavrula is so lucky though. I mean, just it's like art. Their names are just art. Props to their parents for having cool ass names and then following through. You know, my name's Joe. No, I actually I like I like my name. I'll stick by it. No shame. Okay. Anyways, Robbie versus Victor. They're pretty close in terms of time. And it looks like they should be close in position. I mean, they're close in rating. They're just close, you know? They're close. Although black is what, up 2 pawns? But white can check the king a lot. So the king tries to hide out on h6. Queen f6 looks annoying. Targeting f7. Pawn push though. And now this allows queen e1 is what the computer's saying. I like queen e1 a lot. Pressure on the bishop as well as the f2 pawn. It really handcuffs Robbie's queen. So, okay, Robbie's trying to get in and force the queen out further. So yeah, knight here, kind of more of a defensive move. Okay, computer only likes 2 moves for black. It's queen c5 or queen a3. Queen a3 makes a lot of sense. Not gonna lie. Queen c5, both moves do the same thing. Guarding f8. Apparently you have to guard f8, otherwise you're in trouble. So, yeah. We'll see if Robbie finds it. He goes here. Okay, he's offering a queen trade. However, he's not guarding f8. So, queen f8 will just lose the f pawn. Queen block allows the defense. Okay, well, Victor's spending a lot of time here. And this game could still go either way. This is a mate threat, by the way. Just heads up. Keep your head out for that. Duden is playing today after his St. Louis Chess Club Spring Classic round. He had a quick win. That's good. So he's double booked today, huh? Very low time for Victor. All right, he pushes a pawn. Could be dangerous. Computer likes h4. We're getting into the time scrambles. Dragoon is low on time, but so is Stavrula. Actually, looks like Camille has turned things around after all of this. What went wrong, Stavrula? What went wrong? I did not like this. Uh-oh. You lost your knight. Now Camille only has 1 move. It's rook d8. How do you find rook d8? He's got 7 seconds to do it. He does it. He finds the only move. Rook up, trying to come after the f-pawn. Stavrula is still coming. Hold on. Wait, takes, you get checked, and then you get mated on h1. Rook has to block the d-file. Oh my goodness. Oh no. You can't guard e1. Wow, bishop on b7, a monstrous move. That's just mate. That is mate in 1 next. Ugh. Stavrula not as lucky in the end of that game as she was at the beginning. And now, what's going on here? Funo is okay, the a pawn dropped. Both a pawns dropped, but something bad happened. Something bad happened. This pawn is just too deep. Too deep. Funo's low on time though, less than 10 seconds. Benjamin Bach beat Duden. So point for Bach, point for Camille. It's tied at 1. There's 2 games remaining. How's Theodoro doing? Oh my goodness, Baratza had less than a second. There's 2-second increment. And Baratza's living off of it. 2.7 seconds on the clock. That's a check. King attacks the bishop. Bishop attacks the pawn. Trade off here. Pawn's defended. Nope, you can't play that. um, what's going on here, folks? These pawns are passed. I would love to push, but the bishop takes with check, and we drop that pawn. Okay, now there's pressure on this pawn. So you can play here and take this, but you lose that. So maybe knight here. No. Here. Pressure. Bishop here. How to push through for Theodoro. He's trying. And oh no. How is Victor doing against Robbie? Okay, Robbie resigns. So Victor was doing well. So the top two boards for Texas get dubs. And now it's on to Theodoro, top board, against board 4. Man, these top boards are having to fight against the board 4s for these points. I really thought Stavroula was going to have an upset. Okay, there's a check, but now this should be getting in. And now the knight moves. Another pawn push. Yeah, this pawn's going to be hard to defend. Push here. Here. Okay, no, going after it this way. King takes. King here, though. How are we defending that? I thought bishop takes and... No, it's defending itself by the promotion threat. Yeah, once you get two pawns like this, it's very hard to take them down because the king can never take, assuming the pieces get traded off. So that's why the bishop could not take the knight, and that's why the bishop couldn't win this pawn. So this knight's trying to find a way. It's threatening this fork. You can't stop the knight from landing here. So bishop has to defend the pawn. King goes here. Was there a bishop takes tactic? I don't know. We see this trade, and now the pawn's pushing. There's another check. Bishop's going to come here with check. That's it. So Theodoro breaks through. Maybe an opportunity for Barraza there, but it's tied up 2-2 after the first round. Oh, it's so close. It's a close one. As far as the North Carolina and Singapore game, Singapore's brought it back within 1. They won round 3, 3-1, but they're still down by a point going into the 4th round. It's 6.5 to 5.5, so that's a really close one. Yeah, I'm glad that we're checking out these games. 28-69 versus 28-62. So Camille had a close call in the first round against Stavroula, but Stavroula let it slip. And now Camille's taking on Robbie Kevlashvili from SLU, board 3, who is already higher rated than him. So that's tough. Alyssa, thank you so much for the raid. Hey, Chessweeb, good to see you. Shout out to Alyssa. If you guys are just joining us, this is a huge match. This is Division 1 semifinals between SLU and UTRGV. This is a match for the finals. So the winner will move on to play against Mizzou this weekend on Saturday. And first place prize is $5,000. Second place is $2,500. So the winner of this match is guaranteed at least $2,500 and an opportunity to double it if they can beat Mizzou. But they have to win this match first. It's tied 2-2. These are some of the strongest teams in all of the league. I mean, they're top 4 at least. Potential Midwest showdown. That's right. If we see Mizzou take on SLU, I mentioned this earlier, that's going to be a repeat of season 1 finals. So yeah, either way, it's going to be very exciting. We saw SLU, I think, beat Mizzou in the Final 4, right? I think UTRGV and SLU drew in the Final 4 last weekend. Gotta root for the Blues. Is that the nickname for the Billikens? I don't know. I mean, I'm always a fan of the Blues. My dad actually went to SLU. Fun fact. That's why I'm from St. Louis. A lot of people probably didn't know that. I mean, some people probably knew that I'm from St. Louis and that I'm a Blues fan, but I might have some bias towards SLU in particular. I'm revealing my secrets. Typically, commentators are supposed to be unbiased, but I am a St. Louis native. Danish is getting it out of me. Danish should have been a co-commentator for this, maybe. Who knows? Or Talia, maybe. When was the last time Talia's been on stream? Who knows? No, don't be sorry. It's good. Okay, I was thinking pawn takes makes a lot of sense attacking the knight, but you do double your pawns, and there is knight here. So taking with the bishop, keeping the structure intact. Queen steps up to b6. Yeah, double pawns right now for Robbie, and that's kind of blocking in this bishop. But perhaps when the time is right, c5 can be played. And also, black does have a 3-on-2 majority. And you can try pushing this pawn through. But also, Robbie's up a ton of time. 4:59. He's only spent 1 second. Dragoon is already used over half of his time. So that could be a huge part of this game. Yeah, those joining from the raid, if you want to check out the other players, this is board 3 for SLU, if you could believe it. 2869. Benjamin Bach is playing. He is at 2965, but he's only the board 2. He's not even the top rated player on his team. But Bach has the white pieces. He won in the first round. Let's check in on the top board. We've got Theodoru taking on Duden here. So yeah, SLU is the favorite in terms of rating, but UTRGV is the favorite in terms of seeding because UTRGV won their group, so they're the number 1 seed from their side of the bracket. SLU is only the 2nd seed. They lost out to Mizzou on tie breaks in the regular season. In fact, I think Mizzou might have beaten SLU 8.5 to 7.5. I think that was SLU's only loss. Mizzou lost to UChicago. But UChicago was just eliminated by UT Dallas in the quarterfinals in overtime. And then Mizzou took down UT Dallas 8.5 to 7.5. So very close matches in Division 1. It takes a lot of talent and skill to make it this far. Yeah, SLU and UTRGV, they're tied. So yeah, I think it's really cool that they played in Final Four and actually drew, because in Final Four, after a tie, it's just a tie. It's just 4 games. So they tied it 2-2. I actually don't even know who all the 4 players were for both teams. I imagine it's got to be somewhat similar. Maybe Talia knows. Maybe that's why we should have brought in Talia as the co-commentator. Okay. Well, either way, we're going to figure out if they tie in Final Four, we're going to see who's better here, because there's no ties in the Collegiate Chess League, at least not in playoffs. They're in a bracket right now, so someone's got to move on. At the end of this match, we will know who's moving on to the finals and who's going home. Actually, they don't go home. Loser doesn't go home. There's a 3rd place match against UT Dallas next weekend. All right, I was looking at that pawn. Theodore takes on a5. And if the knight wants to move with a discovery, well, you got to watch out for the bishop skewer. So the knight's guarding this square right now. This is a 2-on-1 majority for Theodoru. I guess black can get a pawn back if they're desperate, but that's very dangerous. In fact, bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes. Bishop's going to take that diagonal immediately And looks like we're seeing it. So Duden giving up the Fiend Keto Dark Square Bishop. This could be a very dangerous decision in the long run. This bishop could be a very happy piece, either getting in on the dark squares via h6 or perhaps through the main diagonal on c3. d4 is annoying, but it's just initially taking the c file right now. Black does have a 2-on-1 majority in the center, so a strong center is definitely very valuable. But yeah, we'll see. We'll have to keep an eye out. This pawn is also hanging, and black just defends it. I was thinking if you take, though, rook here, and I guess the b pawn falls, so it's dangerous, but Duden doesn't even want to allow that. Duden's under a minute, by the way, at this point. And so is Dragoon. Dragoon in time pressure, but he's completely winning. So let's see. There's a pin on this file. Uh-oh. What happened, Robbie? So we saw up to this point. Let's see. Takes here. Bishop here. Computer doesn't like that. D takes. Rook takes. Oh, takes the bishop with the old tempo on the rook. Doubling. And rook e1. Not ideal. King steps up. Oh, the rook is defended by the knight. What am I thinking? Knight here, though, forks them. Okay, and now it's no longer defended. And this is the blunder. So computer wants the move queen f6, apparently. But instead... So, okay, how does queen f6 help? Queen f6 helps because you get this check after this pawn pushes. Very interesting. Yeah, and no, this is just it. This is over. Okay, hold on. The rook's hit. But the computer's saying queen e4. Okay, rook takes as well is one idea. Okay, so Dragoon's going to go 2 for 2 against the bottom two boards from Slew, assuming he can close this one out. Stavrula is very low on time as well. 2 minutes for Barat. No, this is Gajic. And yeah, Barat's username is just his last name. This match looks to be the most even out of all of them. They're very close on time, very close in position. White has the bishop pair, and okay, rook against the queen. Okay, but there's an imbalance. So what is the imbalance? It is a bishop and a rook versus a queen. Can you take this pawn? No, you get mated. Wait. Oh boy, rook. So okay. Queen here. Rook, yeah, queen takes rook. By the way, I think computer liked something else better. I don't know. Oh, rook takes a2. That's very interesting. And then taking this way. All right, anyways. Takes. Queen sack back. Bishop takes. Very interesting. Okay, so it's 2 minor pieces versus a rook. But also a pawn. Baratz is very low on time at this point. You have to block here. Gets the pawn back. Can we push this pawn through? Maybe. We have a result. Theodoro beats Duden. Is that what we were expecting? Just a blunder. So yeah, Theodoro 2 for 2. And that gives a 1-point lead to Slew temporarily. Dragoon might tie it back real quick. Computer Lakes, I just resigned. Okay. Yeah, just up a bishop here. Nice. Rook takes c2. Queen takes. And also this pawn's very close to promoting. Rook here is a threat. Don't need to go too much into detail on that one. You all saw it, so it ties it back up 3-3. How's Stavrula doing? Both sides with the bishop pair and a rook, but this king is a little more exposed than this one. And also, very low time for Funo. That's hit. Bishop moves. Uh-oh, hold on. Bishop here? Hello? That's going to be a problem. Wait, but there's bishop takes? No, that's with check. Here, now bishop takes e2. Wow. Winning. Rook here, very strong. Doubling down. It is defended, but not ideal. What did computer like? Computer liked something back here. Queen d6. What? What is queen d6? Somebody explain what queen d6 is. Oh, queen d6. Ah, okay. That's all right. Okay, anywho. Yeah, that's going to be a win for Stavrula. Nice. She gets an upset win there against the board 2. So she's been playing very well. She just had a mistake against Dragoon in the first one. And it looks like Baradza beat Bach, actually. So the board 4s both get upset wins there in round 2. So that keeps it tied at 4-4. Let's see what happened in this game. I thought it was going to be pretty close, but I guess not. There was an exchange lost somewhere. Oh no, we saw the queen given up for a minor piece and a rook, and then given the queen back. So I guess the rook just outperformed the 2 minor pieces. So the knight's pinned, and they trade pawns. Ah, ooh. The oohs and the ahs. Like, I'm seeing what's happening before my very own eyes. Rook here, and it says the move is apparently bishop c6. Wow. Wow, hard to find that one, and I don't blame you. Very natural to take here, but this blunders the check along with the discovery check to pick up the loose bishop. And you're down in exchange at this point, but something must have went wrong. I mean, you're just ooh, nice little mate there. We saw this tactic earlier. I forgot whose game it was. Maybe a stronger player in chat can remind me. Who do I have for the World Chess Championship? Obviously Nepo. Nepo's been the clear favorite, I think. But more exciting than that is who's going to win this match. They've had 2 rounds. They split both of them 2-2. They tied in final 4. Some point, something's going to give, right? What's up, Josiah? Good to see you. So Josiah, he was part of the winning team against UT Dallas to make it to the finals. Now he's watching his potential next opponent. He's scouting the competition. So he's got his eyes on all the games. What's up, UMass Chess Club? Good to see you. All right. So Stavrula now playing against Duden. This is round 3. Bach versus Dragoon. This is a big one. Bach just went down to Baradza. And Camille is perfect. 2 for 2 so far. Only the top 2 boards are 2 for 2. So Camille and Theodoru. Can Bach end Dragoon's streak. Meanwhile, Theodoru is playing against Viktor Gajic, and he's got the white pieces. All right, looking like we're gonna fianchetto the bishop. Hello, Geokip. Good to see you. Yeah, it's tied 4-4, which you love to see, really. We like close matches. We like drama. That's what I'm here for. I want to see overtime. I want to see triple overtime. Well, the players might want it to end early. This match, there was a lot of hassle to get this organized. I think UTRGV had like 3 players missing, plus their coach playing in Foxwoods. And there's like this big tournament happening in St. Louis that I think even Mizzou has a player competing there. So does Texas, so does SLU. I think they had 2 players. But here we have it. The match is underway. And it's a close one. So, yeah, it's very important to these teams that they play at full strength, right? I think in future seasons, I don't know, it's hard to reschedule these things, right? Like if you want it broadcasted on like the main channel, you can't be adjusting the match time like within the week. You have to like know in advance. And also it's like tough on fair play proctors that have to be available to whenever you reschedule to. I mean, I'm glad that everything worked out in the end here, but if there's a will, there's a way. And hopefully both teams are happy. But we'll see. Maybe one team won't be happy at the end of today. And we're going to have to figure out who that will be. But right now they're tied. So they're in it to win it. 2 rounds left. Talia saying Robbie needs to wake up. Both Robbie and Duden, the board 3s, they're struggling today. They're both 0 for 2. Robbie's playing against Baratza. Baratza just won and has the white pieces here. And the computer likes white. This pawn push is kind of interesting, right? It allows bishop h6, kind of forcing black to fianchetto a knight. And now g4. So not really ideal for the knight. And Robbie's trying to break open white's center. So strong move. If this pawn falls, the structure gets weakened. This pawn's really holding everything together. So this pawn's very important for the white structure. So luckily for white, they've got a lot of pieces guarding e5. But this will still help open up Robbie's position. What else is going on? Yeah, still need to develop the bishop. And we see that opposite the queen. But this bishop is not defended. So this comes with tempo. So you can't just take the knight or with the knight. Okay, you can tuck back. Yeah. This is a solid move because it keeps the pawn pinned. And now white's going to be able to take with the knight. So they didn't want to take with the bishop because then the bishop gets taken by the knight. And white would still have a strong piece left there. But once to keep the dark square bishop, right? Black just pushed a pawn in front of their king. And they have a fianchettoed knight. So I'm definitely expecting knight takes. Although computer is saying bishop takes is better because now that the rook is on f7, the knight lands with tempo. So taking either way is good. Computer's also even saying rook f1 is fine, but that's kind of a weak move. I think black's trying to double. So we do see this trade starting with the knight, as I expected. And yeah, queen steps aside. Maybe queen e3, trying to get into the dark squares further. Robbie is up a minute on the clock. And Bach is down on the clock. He's down 2 minutes against Dragoon, who typically has been in some severe time pressure. But Dragoon's always ended up on top. So he's 2 for 2, looking to continue. Bach yet to castle. Not ideal. This bishop's in the way. Computer did not like that move. Ooh, it's calling for the old queenside castle. Hold on, what is this tactic? Bishop up, and basically if pawn takes with the discover check, tempo on the queen, just winning the queen. So that's why the knight's immune at this point. But after this move, the king can get out of the E file and create a pin on the D file with the move queenside castle. We don't see it. We don't see it. Queenside castle was an interesting attack that Dragoon just allowed after C5. But Bach does not go for it. He only has a minute. Dragoon has about 3 minutes. And yeah, knight D2 was played. So not allowing this trade with check. Very interesting. Let's check in on Theodoru versus Gajic. And yeah, Theodoru looking to continue. He's also 2 for 2. So both top boards haven't been beat yet. I think Stavrula had the best chance in round 1 against Dragoon, but I guess time pressure got to her. And Dragoon was able to hold on and live and then win. So here, I like white. I feel like white has a stronger center. But black can take this bishop. That's annoying. But yeah, like open G file. So this king might be a little bit more exposed than black's at the moment. But I think white is going to have a easier time breaking through. Although black is definitely able to stir up trouble. I would love to push in the center. E5 seems strong to me. And we have a lot of pieces supporting that push. It comes with tempo against the knight. However, this knight might get dislodged, and this knight's very important for defending this. The bishop's also there, but again, can be dislodged. But Gajic is spending a lot of time here. He's down to a minute. Theodoru has over twice as much time. Computer's calling for either queen b7 or queen c7, which I couldn't really tell you the purpose. Knight takes bishop. This definitely is more logical to me, but this does invite the queen to the g file. In fact, rook g1 at any moment threatens checkmate, so it's always worth inserting that move. We do see b4, like I mentioned earlier, attacking the knight. Trade, and now knight takes on b4. So Theodoru is just grabbing that pawn. That might have just been a simple tactic. So let's see. Up a pawn for white. Queen here. Computer hates it after knight c6. Knight c6, bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, and then the move knight d5. Wow. Wow. Yeah, you give the pawn back, but you clear the d5 square, and this knight is pinned to g7. So knight here just threatening to take, and you're attacking the knight twice. It looks like it's defended twice, but this g pawn is unreliable. It's pinned. So does Theodoru find that idea? Does he go for it? He's got twice as much time as Victor. And yeah, knight c6, just a solid move. Threatening to take the bishop and then take here. Wow, he finds it. He finds the pawn sacrifice. Knight's on c6. We see the trade, and now knight d5 immediately spotted. How to defend this? Do you need rook e6? That's the only move. No. Here, now we see the bishop sacrifice. If you take knight or rook g1, is just going to be lights out. My goodness. Computer's calling for bishop h4. Played, trying to get to g3. So, computer's calling for bishop c3. You can get checked, but just a king move, I'm sure. King to h1. And there's got to be problems here, like knight check, queen takes. I don't know. But Theodoru is on the chase. He's on the hunt. How's Robbie doing? His opponent's very low on time. 10 seconds for Baratza. Robbie's got a minute over him. So they trade. It's opposite color bishops. It's even pawns, actually. But black is ahead in space and time. Okay, that blunders the f pawn. Okay, not take. Wow, just giving the king g3 like that. Okay. Oh, but you win the d pawn. But the c pawn is weak. Hold on, but you can take this pawn. Ah, rook back to defend. Very interesting. Now, you do have to watch out in some cases. Bishop takes could be a winning idea. But let's see how to win. Bishop d4 or bishop here. It likes. All right, we're cheering on for Bach. Uh-oh. This is completely winning for Bach now. So, okay, resigns. I want to see what transposed here. Okay, just a lot of rooks. There's a lot of rooks for Bach. So he takes down Dragoon. Baratza got down to his last second there. So Dragoon's winning streak comes to an end. This could be Slew's round to win it if they take down Dragoon like that. Okay, lots of pawns for black. 2-on-1 here, but the king is a very defensive piece. But it's opposite bishops. So, okay, bishop's trying to come around this way. That's a check. Now the pawn's pushing. So black has a slight advantage, maybe. Oh, takes here. It's just a draw. Okay, let's look at Stavrula. Stavrula's low on time. Ooh, there's only rook c8 apparently to hold. She found it. And now it's saying it's a draw. But low time for both sides. Queen over to defend in time. She's under 10 seconds. Computer hated that move. And now it likes, oh my goodness. This is the only winning move. It also looks rook a7, but this is threatening a huge fork. And take comes with check. Uh-oh. Duden blundered in time pressure. He takes once, but he can't take twice. He's got to move one of these pieces. He moves the queen. He gets checked. King here. The rook comes. There's only queen f1, and then queen takes his mate. Oh my goodness. Stavrula breaks through. Robbie and Baratza drew. Oh my goodness. These points are flying in. So Robbie gets on the board with a draw. Fyodoru continues his win. And Stavrula gets a huge win. What a round for Slew. They won that 3.5 to 1/2. And now UTRGV has to sweep the fourth round for a dub. I think this might just be it. What a round for Slew. They broke through. They end the tie and in a dramatic fashion. 3 wins and a draw. So they're firing on all cylinders. UTRGV is going to need to answer back big and soon. They only have 1 round left. Slew can win with either a win or 2 draws. So UTRGV, they can only afford a draw and still have chances. But I think a round like that is hard to answer back. Slew just needs to finish it out. Who's going to drive the last nail in the coffin? They need 1 win. Is it going to be Fyodoru? Can he finish with a sweep 4-zip? Can Dragoon answer back after losing to Bach? Or can Bach close it out against Viktor Gajic? Board 2 versus board 2. If Slew wins, we'll have Mizzou versus Slew for the championship. Missouri versus Missouri, and UTRGV versus UT Dallas for 3rd place. Texas versus Texas. So either way, it's going to be exciting. And this will all be settled this weekend. So that's going to be the championship match coming up. And as a reminder, $5,000 for first place, $2,500 for second. So win here guarantees second place. I think both teams right now are guaranteed $1,000. So if they lose today and next week, they're still getting $1,000 for 4th place. But they won it all. And a lot of these players are playing just for the heck of it. just for their team, their school, their pride, the championship title. It's a lot more than just money on the line. Obviously, the prize funding is nice, it helps, and that money can be used towards scholarships or for club funding, events, travel, food, equipment. A lot of clubs are paying for clocks and sets and boards. Um, but yeah, it's completely free to join. So cost these clubs nothing but their time and their energy, and hopefully it's worth it. So where else are you getting this exciting? I mean, we had SLU versus UTRGV in Final Four, and they tied it 2-2. Um, but at this point, SLU versus UTRGV is gonna be decided on most likely in this round, but in which game? To be determined. Maybe multiple games. Stavrula is taking on Baradza, board 4. And Stavrula is just playing really well today. She's 2 out of 3. She really could be 3 out of 3. Dragoon was the one that got so lucky against her. Bach Heitman in the chat. Yeah, Bach just had a big game against Dragoon, taking him down, ending his perfect streak. Bach did lose to Baradza, but he is 2 out of 3, and he's playing against Gajic now, looking to go 3 out of 4. You wonder who Bach Heitman wants to win. Maybe he wants Bach to win. Maybe. We had Bach do commentary, I think. What was it? What was the match he did? Was it Mizzou versus Michigan? Or no? It was like Mizzou wasn't even playing. I think it was UCLA versus Michigan. And then Michigan won. And that was like, I think they were like missing a player. I don't know. But yeah, maybe we'll have Bach do more commentary in the future. But he's busy. He's playing. He's in it to win it. You were there, Brody. Brody remembers. Bach Heitman didn't see it. All right, so what's going on here? Bach has the queen rook battery on the c file. The knight's defending that. The knight's defended by the bishop, as well as these pieces. What's going on? Can we push this? I guess that blunders that. Maybe. Queen over. Wait, was that a free pawn? Oh my goodness. Bach just grabbed a pawn. The computer hates it. Computer's calling for knight e6 tactics or queen g4, which is kind of crazy. How does this work? That's what I want to know. What the heck is that move? Knight takes e6, f takes, then queen g4. And then what? I don't. Oh, you're threatening mate. Oh. But then, and the knight's pinned to the bishop. So it's not a reliable defender. Wow, and you're attacking this, I guess, and like everything's hanging? That's so hard to find. Bach allows this tactic with all this symmetry going on. Isn't chess beautiful? Don't you just love having the eval bar tell you everything? The eval bar is just the magic wand in the position that who knew knight takes e6 would be winning after queen g4. This pawn was poisoned. But did Victor know that? Does Victor have some sort of like chess sensory that tells him this is the winning move? So, okay, here threatening mate, but now it's calling for knight e6. So it liked knight e6 first better. It likes this still. Knight e6 is the best move. Because what? You get this. Check. King h8, and then bishop e4. I don't know, man. This stuff's just too hard to find. He plays it. Is he gonna find bishop e4 though? Computer also says queen h3. Queen h3 or bishop e4. His chess senses are tingling. Chess is beautiful when you aren't the one losing. Well, I mean, that implies that it's still beautiful for your opponent. Because if you're losing, then someone's winning, right? Queen f5. Computer doesn't like this as much. Now it's saying queen b5 is the only move that's good for black. And why is that? I could not tell you. I guess because we're defending everything. I don't know, guys. It's just too confusing. That's why I let the masters figure it out. Stavrula is crushing, by the way. Baratza is less than 15 seconds to 2.5. Yeah, Stavrula very well could be the one that finishes the match for Slew. Less than 10 seconds now. So they've traded queens. Yeah, she's up in exchange. Must be nice. Rook takes e6 is the breakthrough at once. Or e4. It likes the old e4. And then e5. So she's going for that. e5 now. Ah, and then she can take here. That's nice. Well, e5, maybe there's knight here. I don't know. And then it wants rook takes c6 again. Ah, she goes a little passive, a little f3. Don't tell Feingold. a5, Baratz is trying to breathe with his pieces. Bishop c5. Bishop back. And now it likes bishop f1. So you kind of close things off your bishop. Bishop f1's played. She's trying to play here, I think. Okay, the rook's hit. Rook c3, rook d2. Knight blocking or something. I don't know. Bishop back. Guarding against bishop here, I think. Alright, pawn push to me is tempting. But okay, rook here actually is better. Definitely. Computer wants to take. Takes back. Bishop takes. There's rook takes. 1 second. Oh my goodness. Baratza barely getting that move off in time. He moved with less than a second left on his clock. A win is a win for Slew. He's going to flag. Stavrula wins the match for Slew, and she gets a very impressive 3 out of 4, only losing to Dragoon in the first round. And with that, Slew is guaranteed a win. They're guaranteed $2,500, and they're guaranteeing themselves a match in the finals, a date with their Missouri rivals, Mizzou. So we'll see the repeat of the inaugural season finale where Slew ended up winning. And I believe Slew beats Mizzou as well in the Final Four. Rook here's a fork, so Theodoru is going to beat Dragoon. So he sweeps the Texas team. Bach looks like he's going to flag Victor. He runs out of time. And man, Slew might just sweep. What's going on in this one? Okay, Robbie's crushing as well. Wow. Wow, it was close in the first 2 rounds, but it was not close at all in the last two. SLU just kicked it to another gear, and Texas could not match. SLU winning 7.5 of the last 8 points in the match, sweeping in round 4. So it was tied 4-4, and then UTRGV would only get 1 draw in the last 8 games. Absolute dominant second half from SLU, and they crushed it. They're going to take on Mizzou, who might be nervous after witnessing this. But we will see. Can Mizzou get their revenge back from 2020 in the inaugural season, or will SLU be the first team to win their second CCL championship? UTRGV could not repeat. Their title defense ends here in the semifinals against a dominant St. Louis University team. So yeah, and Robbie getting his first win in the last round. Awesome stuff. So congratulations to St. Louis University, and good luck to them against Mizzou this weekend. So be sure to tune in to see who's going to take home the championship, Mizzou or SLU. But the title's going to go to Missouri after it lived in Texas from UTRGV last year. But exciting stuff. No matter what's going to happen, I'm so thrilled to see the showdown. So yeah, awesome stuff from SLU. Really close in the first 2 rounds, as close as it could be, and then SLU flipped a switch. Texas couldn't hang. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. It was a lot of fun. Appreciate it, and good luck to both these teams next weekend. So congrats again to SLU. They're guaranteed 2,500, and they're looking to double it to 5,000 with a win against Mizzou. And Mizzou is going to look to get revenge from the first season. So, yeah, hopefully I'll see you all then. But for now, take care. Those matches should be on Saturday. Keep an eye out. We might see if their schedule needs to be changed. We'll probably have a co-commentator. So, yeah, just keep an eye out for all of that stuff. It should be a fun finish to the season. All right, I'm going to end on a raid, and I'll see you guys all next time. All right, see ya.